1986 and Steve Jobs has just been ousted from Apple, the company he founded. His reputation is in shambles after the failure of the first Macintosh, and he is looking for his next big move. At the same time, George Lucas is going through a litigious divorce and is willing to part with some assets, one of which is a struggling division of Lucasfilm with a digital film processor they're calling the Pixar.
I heard about this incredible group of computer graphics specialists that George Lucas had assembled at Lucasfilm that he wanted to sell. And so I went up there and saw what they were doing. I was blown away. This was way beyond anything I'd seen.
The division had new technology, but also had a creative named John Lasseter, who'd been fired from Disney for being overzealous about computer-generated imagery, or CGI. Hey there, I'm John Lasseter, and I'm obsessed with CGI. Walter Isaacson, the biographer behind geniuses like Einstein and Steve Jobs, says they all have one thing in common: the ability to make connections across disciplines, arts and sciences, humanities and technology. This is a key to innovation, imagination, and genius. Steve Jobs in particular had a deep desire to merge creativity and engineering, something he saw as essential to building the personal computer. This division of Lucasfilm met that criteria. They made hardware and software for rendering digital images, but they also had a group of animators that were telling award-winning stories with CGI animation. Steve once said, "I realized they were way ahead of others in combining art and technology." Steve Jobs bought Pixar for $10 million. Pixar's main business at the time was selling RenderMan, a tool for creating CGI effects. But the animation side of things, that was just a side project to show off what the software could actually do. But John Lasseter, Pixar's animation-in-chief, had a dream of creating animated stories that connected with people. Steve Jobs saw that spark in Lasseter. He let him create freely, and in 1986, Lasseter made Luxo Jr., a short film about a playful desk lamp. It wasn't just a tech demo, it was art. Jobs later said when talking about SIGGRAPH, "Our film was the only one that had art to it, not just good technology." But even with Luxo Jr.'s success, Pixar was losing money fast. With money running out, Lasseter and his team hesitated to ask Jobs for another $300,000 to fund their next project. When they finally pitched him a short film called Tin Toy, about a wind-up toy trying to avoid a destructive baby, Jobs saw the potential and gave them the green light. Tin Toy became the first computer-animated film to win an Oscar, and Disney took notice.
Tin Toy, John Lasseter, and William Reed.
Executives who had once fired Lasseter wanted him back, but instead of returning to Disney, Lasseter and his team stayed at Pixar, where they had bigger plans. By the early 90s, Pixar was still struggling financially. Disney was the biggest customer using Pixar's RenderMan software for movies like The Lion King, but Pixar wanted more. During a meeting with Disney's Jeffrey Katzenberg, Jobs proposed something bold. "You know what would make us happy? Let's make a movie together." Pixar pitched Toy Story, a film about toys that come to life when no one's watching.
Disney Pictures presents the first ever computer-animated motion picture.
Disney agreed, and Lasseter's team got to work on what would become the world's first fully computer-animated feature film. In 1995, Toy Story premiered to rave reviews, proving that Pixar's blend of art and technology could create stories as emotional as they were groundbreaking. But behind the scenes, Steve Jobs had taken another gamble. Just 1 week after the premiere, he took Pixar public to recoup the $50 million he had poured into the company. By the end of the first day, Pixar stock was worth $1.2 billion, making Steve Jobs richer than he'd ever been at Apple. But more importantly, it cemented Pixar's legacy as a storytelling powerhouse.
We're not competing against, a Microsoft or another company. We're competing against, can we make a great film that people love?